Welcome back, you guys, and today I'll be showing you how to go from 0 to 1,000,000 coins so you can get ahead of the game curve and not be left behind like myself. Now, if you are new around here and enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like down below, and if you want a chance of winning one of 7 copies of EAFC, all you got to do is subscribe and send over proof on Instagram. We'll be announcing the winner at 14k subs. We are less than 100 subs away, guys. Get your entries in while you can. And as usual, guys, if you're looking for coins in a quicker way, well, so if you guys are sick of losing at FIFA because your team isn't good enough or you're not good enough at the game, then right now you need to head over to skycoach.gg. Not only can they coach you in your weekend league or play your games for you, you can buy any amount of coins you want, and all of the services get 10% off right now with the code PRORECALL. Go check them out below. Make sure to click the link in the description, and let's get into it. Now, of course, we're looking at 0 to 1,000,000, so we need to make some coins to start off with. And don't worry, guys, I have the perfect ways to do it. Now, first of all, you're going to need some bronze rares and some silver rares, because this one is my favorite method of all time. So you've got bronze rares and silver rares. You need 22 of each in order to start this. And I know that sounds like a lot, but honestly, these are literally the cheapest cards in the game. You should really have a couple of them in your club. As you can see, I've literally restocked recently just by doing these shapeshifter kind of upgrade SBCs. And what you're going to do is put these into the first 2 SBCs on the icons that we've got. So Zambrotta and Cantona, if you've already done the rest that were already out. And the result is these 4 packs. So you can do more. If you haven't done them already, you have a ton available. And for those of you who don't have the players or just don't want to do this method, of course, the squad battles, div rivals, moments, you all get tradable rewards from those options. These are just, in my opinion, the best way to make coins. You get 2 tradable red gold player packs, two tradable rare gold players, and the minimum result from these is about 1,000 coins per player. You won't really lose coins. You can whack these up for a K each, and that's obviously a worst case scenario. We've got 2 under 80s, but out of the 4, I suspect we'll get at least 1 where the reality is we're probably looking at something where 4k, 5, 6k return, something decent. We'll skip the next one. That looked like a special, might not be. It was Arias. So Kolo Muani. Okay, so we've got another. So out of these packs so far, we're on about 2k profit, because really, I mean, that one probably isn't. So we're about 1k profit. Let's say 1k profit overall, realistically. We quick sold him. All we need is 1 special, 183, 184, and you've got a very decent profit. That's kind of the reason these are so good at the minute. 81 Gomez, that's an easy 1.1. That Avia probably is still just another K. We'll quick sell him just for ease of time. I appreciate this may not be the best return that we've had out of these packs, but for those of you guys who've been on the channel for a while, we have had some brilliant special cards. We've got Moments, we've got Tots, we've had a few things in them. Musiala there. So realistically, we've not had the best return, but it's still a very good pack, and it's definitely worth it, and I've done every single one. And then you take yourself over to the transfer market, and you can pretty much select any of the older special cards, and you will have a filter for around 30k. So for example, World Cup for noms, if you take this to what, 22,000 coins, as you can see, we've got a few there very easily straight off the bat. What's the cheapest one? Kera there at 16k, it looks like. So let's pop the max price on 17.5. You got 3 there, so you could do compare price on this one, see what the cheapest is. Now let's just check that Kera can go for less than 65. We all know EA do mess up the price ranges sometimes, so you do want to check this when you are doing filters. His minimum is 10.5, which means right now, if you just do compare price and find one, 15.5 would pretty much be adequate. I mean, you can see there's not really any at the 17 mark, which is a good and a bad thing. It just means it's likely he'll only sell for about 16.5, which means after EA tax, you're looking at losing about 800 coins. So you want to be picking them up at 15.5, maybe a little bit below. So you've got that option there with, of course, the World Cup for noms. Then you can take it over if you'd like to. I mean, World Cup Heroes probably isn't far off in terms of the lowest end, so we're looking at about 20k there. Realistically, maybe 25 is that from those things. So here we've got Crouch, we've got Dempsey, we've got Park Ji Sung, and looks like a 22 mark up there. So 20k, 22. Okay, so realistically 23 roughly for the sale. If we argue 23 for the sale, EA tax on that, it's going to be 1,150. So realistically 21 is probably not a bad point to be picking these up at. So 21 there, easy little filter, and these filters you literally don't have to do anything for. You're going for a special, selecting just the minimum range and going from there. So of course, on the lower end of things, this is really easy. You don't have to try much. Of course, these cards aren't impacts. That's one thing you got to bear in mind. The circulation of these cards isn't massive, but we've just seen a 19.5 on the basis that these cards are like 8 or 9 months out of packs. That's brilliant. Of course, Winter Wild cards, a promo that had some really like special cards that were just absolutely brilliant. Of course, looking here, Lacazette worth absolutely nothing. Yaya Toure, Moving on, of course, the winter wildcards. Got a lot of options here. If you take it to the Premier League, you've got Butland, Robertson, Sancho, you've got Traore, and you've got Gabriel Jesus. So if you just realistically, I mean, one good one I would say would be possibly midfielder, because what you're going to take yourself, obviously you've got Sancho there, I think kind of being one of the cheaper ones. You've then got the likes of De Bruyne, you've also got Kante, and you've also got the likes of, we saw Maxim in there as well. So you've got a nice little selection. If you pop it to, from the looks of things, 82,000 coins, EA tax on that is going to be about 4.5k. So you'd realistically want to get one of these for about 77 maybe, maybe a little bit lower if you wish. You can kind of decide your profit there. You can of course do this and pop on, for example, French. Then you're going to obviously be left with Kante and Saint Maximin. Obviously Kante being kind of the more midfielder option rather than the sort of winger option there. But if we go centre mid, you then, if we take off, sorry, France, we definitely don't need that. Centre mid, you've got De Bruyne and Kante. Now what's good about this is because De Bruyne and Kante are so close in value, you're probably looking, what, 300k? So there you go. So you can see both of them kind of sat there. There's a two. Okay, I was going to say, I thought that De Bruyne at 237 was insane. Apparently not. So we're looking at around 230k. EA tax on that is 10% will be 23. So it's about 15k really. I mean, you can pick these guys up for, I would say, 210 is probably a good mark. You're looking at about 6 or 7k profit. So that's definitely a better mark for this specific one. Obviously, the issue with Foot Birthday, sorry, not Foot Birthday, what cards even are these? Wild card. The issue with Winter Wild cards is they're so old that not a lot of people are going to be listing them at all. Like, I'm surprised that these people think they're going to get these cards sold. It might take a little bit of time. That is something you've got to bear in mind with some of these cards. Of course, if you go for things like the Champions Road to the final, you will see some of these cards had a massive soar recently. So you've got some opportunity to have a look at where you can maybe make some coins. Of course, Calvin Phillips, that card for some reason was one of the most desirable cards on the planet, and it still really hasn't dropped as much as it should. I mean, 90k for that card is crazy. You got Firmino here, you got Fofana, you got Mora. Obviously, it'd be nice if you could have like an attacking filter where it kind of had more value to it, but on the Premier League side of things, if we pop this to probably I can imagine it's about 30k. Yeah, so you don't really have to do much for filters right now in terms of the lower end of things. I do understand that some of you guys on the higher end might have a little bit more trouble. Don't worry, we will get to that. So 36 for this Lucas Moura. EA tax is going to be 2k, so you go down to here, I'd say what, 30, 33, you can snipe at that. So these cards is just about, obviously they are out of date cards, so it's going to be not luck in terms of the snipe itself, but just you've got to kind of be a little bit more patient. Some of these cards aren't going to go up very often, so you kind of have to bear that in mind. But on the contrary, you know, they are also very easy to snipe. Obviously we missed that crouch there, but he's semi-desirable. It really depends on what you're looking for. Speaking of, obviously, take yourself to Foot Fantasy Heroes, Premier League, English. Easy one again. You've got the likes of Crouch, and then you've got the likes of King. Another one that's kind of overlooked, if you go Premier League and you go to, I want to say South Korea, and if we can find it, is it? Oh, it's down as Republic of Korea. I feel like it's dumb. It should just be South Korea. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's just South Korea anyway, realistically. But if you take yourself over to Premier League, Republic of Korea, and pop it to 20k, you're gonna have to do a minimum of 10-250. I did forget about that. You're gonna find yourself the likes of Park Ji-sung's regular card. You've also got the likes of Son available there, and then Park Ji-sung's other cards aren't miles away, so it's actually quite a good one here. I want to say that 15k might be a snipe. Yeah, we'll get that one. We'll list that up for, I want to say 16.5. That's probably a realistic amount to go for. We're not going to get much more than that, but really easy little snipe there. Didn't have to do much work for it. It is one of them ones that isn't too difficult at all. If you go over to the Premier League and you go for Fantasy Heroes, unfortunately, Janola, obviously being the big one there, does take away a lot of the oomph from some of the other cards. But Park Ji-sung, I'll be honest, one of my favourite cards that we've ever had in the game. Really love that card. Such a shame that I didn't kind of get it in any of the hero picks, because he would have absolutely fit in my team. And I know some of you are going to be like, oh, you can pick him in the seasons. I've literally done nothing this season, guys. Unfortunately, I've got a new job recently. It's, well, that's not unfortunate, but unfortunately it's meant I haven't been able to actually kind of participate in a lot of what would be essentially the kind of key bits to get anywhere in the season rewards. I just haven't been playing FIFA as much, but I'm very much in a good place mentally. I'm much happier. I just haven't been able to play FIFA. That might be why I'm in a better place mentally. No more weekend league. But 150k for this one. 10% for the EA tax is about 15,000 coins, so 7.5k. Really easy. I mean, you could literally snipe the guy for 141 and you'd be looking at about 3 or 4k profit. I do think this one's a little bit of an easier one because the guy is in a season reward, so he's definitely available for less coins right now than he would have been before. And I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. I've gone through quite a lot here. If you need any tips or any sort of follow-up questions, drop me a message over on Instagram, drop a comment down below. You guys know, you got the options there. And of course, if you want to enter in the giveaway, go do that, because all you got to do is subscribe, which is free to you. And then I've got to pay 7 of you, essentially like 50 quid's worth of a game. So it's a win for you guys, honestly. Make sure to do that. Drop a like if you enjoyed. I'll see you tomorrow.